Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back here with another video, and today I decided to bring this video where I'm going to be really quickly showing you guys how to deploy a NextJS application onto the Vercel platform. Now, the reason why I want to make this video is because a lot of you guys have been asking me how to do this specifically, and it's a really quick process, as you can see by the length of this video. I know a lot of you guys will end up finding yourself in this situation, especially with the release of Next 13. So that's why I wanted to make the video. Now, before we get into the video, recently you guys have been commenting a lot about the lights that I have in the back of my video, these two ones over here. I've received comments about it for a while now, but I don't know why recently a lot of you guys have been wondering. I'm gonna put a link for the Amazon page to buy this in the description if you're one of those people who are interested in looking at it, together with like all the gear that I use in my videos. I'm not sponsored by any of them. I'm just putting out because that's what I use. And yeah, that's basically it. So with that in mind, let's get into the video. Okay everyone, so this is how we're going to deploy our app. So I have over here a very simple app. I can even open it up over here on my local host. It's actually not a real website. I used part of this code for a video, and it's like practically broken, but to be honest, I don't really care. It's just for the purposes of the video. It's a normal NextJS 13 application. Here we have some beautiful UI that I just copied online to make the home page for some reason. But then here it's making like an API request and getting some data. But you can see it is indeed a NextJS app. If I open this up over here, you'll see that we have some NextJS code, and it was completely built by using create next app. So how are we going to deploy this? Now, the first thing we need is to have a GitHub account, because what Vercel does is they actually use your actual repositories to be able to deploy it. So what I want to do is I want to create a new repository over here in our GitHub account. We're going to call it something like Next 13 deploy. Okay, Next 13 deploy is available. So I'm going to choose public, and then that's fine. I'll click create repository. Now you can see this is how it appears when you create a repository. I'm gonna copy this commands over here, all of this ones over here, just Command C. Then I'm coming to Visual Studio Code. I'll open up this. I'll run git init. Then I'm gonna run git add dot to add my files, and then finally just paste all of this. It will commit and push my code to our GitHub repository. If I open this up over here and refresh, you'll see that our code should be here. Now, this is kind of expected that you kind of have some sort of knowledge in regards to GitHub, but I still wanted to show real quick just so you guys would know what to do. Now, the thing is, we just deployed our NextJS app, but just the code to GitHub. What we need to do now is we need to come to Vercel. Now, in Vercel, if you just enter vercel.com and create your account, you would do that by signing in and logging in into an account. It's really quick, really simple. I'm not going to show it because I already have an account, and I assume all of you guys know how to create an account on a website. It is free, by the way. You just create your account and you'll see yourself in this page called dashboard, right? The vercel.com/dashboard. Then I'm going to click add new, and we're going to choose add new project. When you click on that, you'll see that it will ask us to import from a Git repository. If you don't see it like this, it's because you didn't actually connect your GitHub account with Vercel. So when usually you create a Vercel account, you can do so by using a bunch of different providers, including GitHub. But if you used any provider other than GitHub, you still need to connect your GitHub account to here. Now, how do you add your GitHub account? Well, you click on add GitHub account and it will open this up. Then you'll see that I have already added, so that's why this page appears. However, if it is in your case and you haven't, you should see a login page and an authorization page asking you to install all the necessary plugins to Vercel in order to allow them to have access to your GitHub account. And that will be completely safe, by the way, in case you're scared of that. Now, the good thing about this is they have access to all of your repositories, and you can deploy any of them really quickly, including the one that I deployed to GitHub 1 minute ago, as you can see over here. And it even shows that it is a NextJS app. So what we want to do is I want to click on import. Now we need to give it a project name, and you have to recognize that depending on what you put over here, your project will look a little bit different. Now I'm still going to call it Next 13 deploy. It's going to ask us for what is the framework. I'm going to choose NextJS. The root directory, same thing. There's a bunch of build and output settings that are different depending on what project you're actually deploying. But for us, since Vercel specifically is very, very connected to NextJS, right? Vercel is the company that makes NextJS. They already have all of this pre-made for you, so you don't have to even do anything. The only important thing you have to do is, in case you have environment variables, you add them over here, because obviously the environment variables won't be present only by just using the .env file that you have in your code. So we don't have any of them. I'm just gonna click deploy, and you guys should see that it is as easy as that. You'll see that a whole deployment process has started. It shows you the pipeline, it shows that it's building, it shows all the commands and everything that is running. And I'll be back in a second when this is pretty much done. Now, if you guys see, it hasn't actually deployed because I purposefully put a mistake in one of my pages just to show you guys this case. I do this every time I show deployment videos, just because I know it will not always go perfect. For most people, actually, deployment is usually not a smooth process. So I wanted to show specifically this for you guys. So you can see my next app is running indeed perfectly. It is working, right? But there's one specific page that has something broken in it. The page is this one over here. If we go to source, go to contact, this page over here, it is given us an error. In this case, it is actually a TypeScript error, but it is important, it's an error nonetheless. So what I want to do is I want to just quickly fix this error. And the way I found this error was because during the deployment process for NextJS, if you run into any errors, you can just look over here to see exactly where it failed to compile. In this case, it gave us the exact location to where it failed and the exact error message that we received. Now, to fix whatever I had over here, it's actually really simple, because all we need to do is just a quick fix would be to give a type of any to this thing. And now all we have to do is just send our code again to our repository. So I'll just say fixed stuff, I'll commit, and then I'll push. Now that we've finished pushing the code, we have to go back to our overview page over here in our Vercel dashboard. We'll see that we have our project that we tried deploying over here, Next13 deploy. We'll click on it and you'll see that it has an error, right? Because there was an error. But you can see that our commit message, so our changes are actually over here, meaning that we should now be able to redeploy this. Well, how do we actually redeploy this? Well, we can click on build logs and just click on redeploy. And now it will ask us to redeploy to production, and it will ask us to use existing build cache. I'm not going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on redeploy. And you'll see that now it will start queuing again. It will start the process. You can see the pipeline over here is running, everything is working, and I guarantee that this time it will actually work. So I'll be back in a second when this has finished deploy, just to show you guys how it will look. Okay, so as you can see, it is done over here. The building was complete. You can see even a deployment summary, a bunch of stuff, the assets, everything, the checks that it was run, if you want to perform any checks like integration checks and stuff like that. But it seems to be working. You can check out the website by clicking on visit, and you can see the status is ready. And if you want to visit the website, we'll just click on this button over here. And as you can see, the website is live and it's working perfectly. Everything's exactly how it was supposed to be. Now, this is the URL that we see over here because we're deploying for free, right? So we would have to buy a domain if we wanted to actually put a custom domain over here. It's really simple to set that up as well. If you're interested, I'll definitely make a video on this. But this is it for the video. I wanted to show you guys how easy it actually is to deploy a NextJS app to Vercel. If you have any questions or any doubts, just leave them in the comment down below. Again, I'll put the code for this and also the links to all my gear in the description. And yeah, that's basically it. Really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I see you guys next time.